My name is Elizabeth, and I'm on the marketing team here at Mountain, focusing on co-marketing, so bringing co-marketing opportunities to life. And with that, I want to say first and foremost that I was a Mountain customer before I joined the Mountain team. So I know first and foremost where you are, from campaign launches to budget conversations to all the performance goals you're looking for. And so with that, today, Eric and I will be focusing on connected TV, creative, and how performance marketing, it all fits in together. And then with that, expect key insights, strategies, and how to drive business growth through TV. Yes, performance TV. Awesome. So if you kind of look at the chart and this data that's on the stage, in the last 5 years, we've really seen TV viewership grow. And with that, we have more eyes on screen, which means more inventory for advertisers. We really focus on premium inventory here at Mountain. And this increase isn't just about quantity, it's about attention. And attention is what drives performance for your brand. We're seeing that streaming is no longer a trend, it's here to stay. And we see that over 90% of homes with access are viewing streaming. And so the bottom line of that is CTV is where research or reach and results intersect. Okay, so looking at a performance powerhouse, TV used to be only for big brands and big budgets, and it wasn't available to everything. Mountain flipped that script. We are here for small businesses, mid-market businesses, and really focus on that. Today, CTV is trackable, measurable, and optimized like any other digital channel that you're used to within your omni-channel marketing strategy. CTV doesn't just prospect, it helps build your entire funnel, improves your ROAS, and that lifts performance just like paid search and paid social. And with that, this is not reserved for big brands. With that comes creative, and that's what Erica will really be diving into in a minute. But Mountain and our platform, including QuickFrame, allows brands to get on air quickly and affordably and really focus on how this growth can be translated into real results that you see for your business. It's clear creative, it's quick production, and you can get live in just a few weeks. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You can test, learn, and iterate. And then with that, we kind of have a TV creative checklist that Erica will go into more in a second, but some questions that you really want to ask yourself about your brand and getting live on TV, just kind of like any other channel, is who's your audience? What problem are you solving with your brand? What feeling do you want to leave that viewer with? It's TV. You have sound, you have a lot of visuals going across the screen. You want to make it incredibly memorable, and you want to make it clear of how your product is going to improve their life. Where in the funnel are they? Is this a retargeting campaign? Is this a prospecting campaign? Mountain makes it really easy to segment your audience, whether you're going after prospects, retargeting, or anyone in the mix. If you focus on these things, and Erica will go into more about how to make the creative even stronger, that this creative in your campaign will resonate and most importantly, convert.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liz. My name is Erica, and I lead the creative strategy team here at QuickFrame. Just so you know, QuickFrame was acquired by Mountain in 2022, so I am also a Mountain employee. In my day-to-day, I work with Mountain customers and help them create videos to run on CTV. So I am the one helping greenlight the production, and I work with them every step of the way with creative recommendations and helping them choose the perfect creative team to move forward with these assets. So the number one question I'm asked by new customers on Mountain is, how could I create assets that will have a long shelf life? And keep in mind, for most of these brands, this is their first time ever running ads on television. So let's jump into the CTV cascade and what that means within the realm of post-production. So when I say CTV cascade, I'm referring to the stream of creative that comes from one production. So a one-day production, how many assets can we create? So broken down here, you'll see the type of assets we could create. So new CTAs and tests on different end cards. A big one I recommend is creating social media resized videos for other platforms. So you're already getting the hero video for CTV in 16:9. Why not level up and shoot everything within the center of the screen. So if you love the asset, it'll easily be deliverable in 9:16. If you want to level up even more, I'd suggest doing multiple shoots per year. Ideally, quarterly, and figuring out what your goals are there in terms of big holidays or big pushes. So going into these shoots, I want you to think about what holidays are coming up, what big product launches, and what promotions do we have, and create content for those are key when deciding what you're going to shoot. So think about, what do those extra lines look like that we can record on set to use throughout the year? And if you're collecting net new footage, taking that and finding ways to use it for specific holidays. Like, for example, I work with a flower delivery company, and they have stellar evergreen assets. The big tentpole holiday, to the surprise of no one, is Valentine's Day. So there's always a big push for Valentine's Day. So at QuickFrame, we recommend them to do a Q4 shoot to get assets to run specifically in the first 2 months of Q1, and to make those assets have a strong push to Valentine's Day, and making it Valentine's Day specific, since there's extra spend behind those assets, and we've seen a ton of success there. Another way to level up CTV is by testing and evolving. We talked about that a lot today. You can do that in quite a few different ways. One way is small changes versus big changes. So A/B testing, we've talked about that a lot. What first 5-second hook can you add in versus bigger changes? If you're already shooting all this concept, get multiple concepts with different value props to hit. Another big thing to highlight is this being your opportunity to see what actually drives ad performance on CTV. Testing a new VO. What does female VO versus male VO sound like? CTAs, discount codes. All of these can be huge impacts from post-production alone. You don't need to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for these tests. Now, we've talked a lot about the CTV cascade. Let's jump into creating the perfect CTV ad. I have a rubric here to walk you guys through. Attention. What is your hook? How fast do you jump into it? We're talking about performance television here. Why bury the lead? I have brands come to me and say, well, I want the reveal of the product to be in the last 5 seconds. You're wasting a lot of time there where the customer won't even know what you're advertising. Put it all up front. Branding. URL and logo on screen. I know a lot of people who, when watching TV and a commercial comes on, they put the TV on mute. Does anyone else know people who do that? If you have guests over? So if the TV is on mute and there's no logo or URL on the screen, how do you know what's being sold to you? Value prop. What are you selling and why should I buy it? What makes this service unique? CTA. Should I be buying now? Learning more? Is anything even for sale yet? Make sure to have a strong CTA on your end card. Let me know how to boost your ROAS. I know we've talked about ROAS a lot today, but I want to give you money. If you don't tell me where to go, there's not much I can do. This one relates back to branding, but sound is so important. And impactful VO and music is one way to do this, but what about an audible call out? I'm sure this will reach a lot of people. When a commercial comes on, who looks down at their phone and plays on their phone throughout the entire commercial? So if you're not looking at the screen that has the logo and the URL and you never mention the product, how will anyone know what you're selling or where to go? And then text. So reinforce the message with a strong end card that ties together the visual and audible parts of your CTV ad. So I'm breaking down here how the CTV best practices I talked about look like in practice. I'm going to highlight some of the stats we see on this slide. So 41% lower average cost per visit when following these best practices. 112.6% higher average conversion rate when following these best practices. and 48% higher average visit rate when following these best practices. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, well, what if I put a QR code on it? Could we do a QR code to send? Is that the same as putting a logo or a URL on the screen? Keep in mind, these CTV spots are only 15 to 30 seconds. A lot of people will not have the time and the mental process of pulling out their phone and scanning the TV within 15 seconds. So we say that harms performance, and we really recommend keeping it the URL or the logo. Another reason I wanted to include this slide is this is the number one slide I send to customers, being that I get a lot of pushback on this. The reason being is people don't think it looks clean to have a URL and logo on the screen, and they want it to feel more honorable to the brand and look better in a vanity way. I like putting this back on the brand. Is a clean look more important than performance? I encourage brands to at least try a version with these CTV press practices, and I'd encourage you to do the same. Even if you don't love it or you don't see these results, it doesn't hurt adding it into your campaign. So I have a little slide here just breaking down what it would look like with your logo and your URL. You could also put the logo on the top or the URL on the top, so there's flexibility there on following best practices. And then here are end card best practices. You'd be surprised how many ads are sent to me with no end card. So let's really push this end card. As I mentioned before, a really strong, concise, clear, and urgent call to action. Don't just put the URL. Put buy now, put learn more. What are you trying to do with this ad? And once again, the biggest of all, audible call out. Have someone actually read your URL aloud so we could visit the website and it can count as a verified visit. And I have a little breakdown here on how that would look like on your CTV ad. And I'm going to throw it over to Elizabeth to dive into holiday shopping on CTV.
Awesome. So given kind of the trends of last year, this year, there's a lot of economic uncertainty. And even despite last year with the election and unsure what was going to happen, holiday Q4 saw nearly a 4% growth year over year. So the holidays come and shoppers still show up. Shoppers are savvy. Most of them look for deals on every purchase, and many wait till November and December when to buy. Mountain advertisers really thrive during this time. You can kind of see these Q4 stats as outlined on the screen. We really recommend that advertisers really focus during peak because they saw double-digit gains across return on ad spend, conversions, revenue, et cetera. And as you can see, their costs went down. CTV really drove this, proving that performance doesn't pause in Q4, it scales. With that being said, we understand a lot of you have to make kind of some of these decisions as close to Q4 and the holiday timing as possible. With both Mountain and QuickFrame, we're able to have you guys unlock these kind of changes in budget swings super fast. When I was a Mountain customer, our budgets were planned literally the month before. So that was something that we really focused on and really appreciated about the Mountain platform, was being able to make these quick changes on the fly to really react to real-time business trends. So you don't have to lock in budgets in advance. You can make these changes as you can kind of see trends and results. And with QuickFrame, you can make the creative changes pretty fast.
Awesome. I have some examples to show you guys. So here are 3 different examples of how to do a holiday creative refresh. Let's watch the first one.
Your grandma, she isn't just good at knitting, she's amazing. And this time of year, you could send her any old holiday card. Or you could mix amazing with Zazzle. From holiday cards to home decor, shop a wide range of products designed by our community of creators and customize pretty much anything. Because everyone deserves a card as unique as they are. Everyone. Make holidays amazing. Shop now at Zazzle.com.
So they decided to go with net new live action production for this asset. As you could see, the product itself is very holiday focused for that release. We shot this in September for a November launch. URL, logo, clear end card. and important for this company to invest in specific holiday content. This was actually part of a bigger campaign where we did 3 different holiday videos with the same feel, highlighting different products through Zazzle. One was like ornaments, this one was cards. We were able to shoot all of that in 2 days and create a huge campaign around it, including a mashup of all of them, highlighting all of Zazzle's products.
Awesome.
This holiday season, try treating your food to something nice.
Look at that.
Like steam injection, air frying, or even bagless sous vide. All in the combi oven that's guaranteed to take your holiday meals to the next level. The Innova Precision Oven.
Another fun one. This one is using all existing assets provided by the brand. We shot nothing for this commercial. So look at what a change VO, holiday music, and text treatment makes. We did this in about 2 to 4 weeks. And it's a cost-effective way for a brand who has existing creative to level it up and do a big refresh. Another thing I love about this is we got to use some UGC that they had sitting around. If you have UGC or getting that for the holidays, it's a lot better and more cost-effective to capture that if you have those partnerships in place to put them in a CTV commercial. Those could work great in a CTV commercial, as you could see in the Innova spot. And I have one more for you guys.
Bring in the season with the merry month of Sling and enjoy all the things you love about holiday movies, like Fragile lamps, battle plans for burglars. Watch holiday classics with Freeform's 25 Days of Christmas, AMC, and TBS. Plus, Lifetime and Hallmark Channel for mistletoe moments you're sure to fall la in love with. Oh, what fun you'll have watching all this and more with Sling, your home for holiday favorites.
Another really fun one. So we used existing assets licensed to Sling. Also, net new motion graphics and 2D animation. So if it is October and you do not want to deal with doing a live action shoot, approving scripts, approving talent, being on set, this is much more cost effective, takes 3 to 4 weeks. And you could give feedback in real time to approve very holiday specific assets for a fraction of the price of live action.
And really kind of to sum it all up, when you're kind of looking at the rest of 2025 and going into next year, Q5 is an incredible time for advertisers. It's a hidden gem. Shoppers are still active, and gift cards they receive during the holidays will keep them spending. It's when you're retargeting pools to everything we talked about on the panel earlier. So any kind of retargeting pools are at their largest. You can re-engage shoppers, really focus on complementary products and a bunch of different things. And you can apply what you learned from your holiday creative. If you've tweaked an asset to make it holiday ready, you can kind of make it ready for the new year or focus on Valentine's Day. And brands that stay active in Q5 really have a strong start to the year. And with Mountain's platform and QuickFrame, you can make quick edits to creative and targeting to really see different campaigns perform to your goals for the new year.
Awesome. And I believe we have 5 minutes if anyone has any questions.
What does cheaper look like? You say cheaper than live action, because I don't know what live action costs.
Yeah. So for a live action QuickFrame project, those start at around $23,000 compared to a post-production project, which starts at $8,000.
Have you handled conversations with brands who really don't want to follow some of those creative best practices? I know you mentioned like performance is better, but like can you go into a little more detail about some of the specific conversations you've had where you kind of won that argument to say, hey, like performance works and you should follow these best practices and not be so beholden to the brand and all that goes with it?
Absolutely. I think the statistics on that slide really helps them seeing that we've done the testing and it really does make a difference. But once again, we can't make everybody switch over. I understand that some people don't like the URL on the screen. It really bothers them. Another point is like Peloton, for example. I don't think Peloton has the brand recognition that maybe you don't need Peloton.com on the screen, but for a smaller brand, or if your URL is very different than your logo, it is really, really important to have it. So honestly, sometimes I'll have the editor just do a version with it. So it's in our back pocket, so we don't have to revisit it and give them both and say, do what you want with them. But if performance doesn't go as planned and you're not using our recommended assets, there's really not much we could do. We're trying to help you.
What percentage of people reaching out to you have a video ready to go versus working with you to create one?
Oh, great question. So we work a lot with small business. Like, so through Mountain, they usually have assets, or they'll come to us and we'll do a video entirely out of stock footage and whatever they have. And they actually turn out like quite well.
Awesome. Give it up for Erica. Thank you.